I was reading comments on a Christian page recently, and all these people who profess to know Jesus were being so mean to one another. And I remember thinking, I can't imagine a pain greater than seeing my own children turn against each other in hate, bitterness, and condemnation. And I wondered, what would I be feeling, or what would I say? I think I'd say something like, "Don't you remember how I held you both in my arms and loved you? Your mama and I gave up everything for you. Your mama almost died bringing you into this world. And if she would have considered it a privilege. Don't you know how we played and learned and enjoyed donuts together almost every day on the way to preschool? My son, don't you remember when you were only 6 years old, how you stood up to the bigger kids to protect your little sister? You remember how she used her own birthday money to buy you that skateboard? Remember how you laughed and giggled and held on to each other in the back of that red wagon as it sped down the hill? I remember. I would say to them, don't you know that you're breaking my heart? Don't you know that we're all we have? What will we do without each other? I've often pondered the agony of Jesus when he said, "O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, the city that kills the prophets and stones those who are sent to it. How often I would have gathered your children together as a hen gathers her brood under the wings, and you were not willing." It's Matthew 23, verse 37. I wonder sometimes, were there tears? Were there tears running down his face as he said those words? Or had he reached that point when you're tempted to abandon all hope and there are no more tears left to cry and you're just exhausted and numb? Maybe he felt about the same as when he said what I believe to be probably the saddest words in all of the Bible. "Nevertheless, when I return, will I find anyone who still believes?" Luke 18, verse 8. I know some may not understand how that could ever be possible. We have so many who profess faith in Jesus. But it is in love for one another that we express our faith and our love for God. If God is love, as the Bible says, and if all the law can be summed up in those 2 commandments, that we love God and everyone else as much as we love ourselves, then what good is faith if not expressed by love?